Hey there techies, and welcome to another review. So yes, if you're experiencing deja vu right now because you're seeing NextDNS on the screen, yes, I know we did go through NextDNS, but that was only the configuration. We did not do any sort of security testing, and that's what we're going to do today in this review. We are going to throw 50 malicious URLs and some phishing at NextDNS to see whether it will live up to its claims of being one of the more secured DNS providers on the market, considering it is pretty much a paid DNS service. They do have a free option, but it really is useless unless you pay for it in my mind. We're going to go ahead, kind of test it out, see if it lives up to the claims of being secure. In addition to that, we will go ahead and, because DNS testing goes pretty quick, we're going to throw up a whole bunch of URLs. And if you look over here, I have a script that we're going to run. So we'll go ahead and end up testing a couple other kind of well-known DNS providers, third-party DNS providers that kind of tout themselves on their security as well as their malware protection. And we're going to see whether they can live up to their claims as well of blocking malware and how well they do at blocking malware. So, all right, we're going to quick run through the configuration here. It should be similar, if not identical, to last time. I did my best to set it up basically how I have mine configured for the most part. And as you can see here, by default, they have DNS rebinding protection disabled, as well as blocking park domains, which, as you can see here, I did enable. If we go to privacy, I did remove the NextDNS block list and added the oisd block list. I've experienced that NextDNS does seem to, in their block list, have some false positives. Plus, there's only like 50,000 or something like that, versus the 478,000 that oisd has in his list. So more entries, less false positives. To me, that's a win. That's why I use his list right there. And that's what we're going to do for the test. And then for some native tracking protection, I just have some entries down there. Got Huawei. Let's see. Then we got, for parental controls, we got TikTok blocked, as well as adult content and piracy. All right. Let's go to settings here and see. This is pretty much default. The only thing that I enabled is the block page, and I did install a certificate, so we'll get the fancy little blue block page that will pop up on the screen, and you'll see that in a second. All right, so that's the configuration. Let's throw that down there, launch up the script here, and as you can see, we do have 50 malicious URLs, both containing malicious files as well as phishing URLs. So let's go ahead and run it. And now this is going to basically launch in Edge, and you'll see that it's going to essentially just throw up a whole bunch of tabs, and it's going to all run across the top of the screen. So bear with me while it launches. And it looks like we already have a block here. Okay, so let's go through. It looks like, and at the end here, guys, what we will end up doing is we will go ahead and tally up the results. So I'll kind of keep a tally, and then as we'll proceed with the test with the other third-party tests, we'll go ahead and then add them up all at the end. All right, so looking through here, it looks like these have all been blocked, and it looks like they've been blocked using threat intelligence. This one looks like it was blocked using oisd and threat intelligence. That is nice how they tell you on the bottom which component has actually blocked it. So far these are all threat intelligence. Okay, this is the first one actually we've seen here that was actually Google Safe Browsing as well. So that's interesting. I really expected Google Safe Browsing to work more. Okay, this one is only the oisd right here. So that's good that I had that. Okay, this one, I don't know why this one didn't. This one, it looks like it got through actually. Okay, so that's a miss. And then let's see, I'll just go through here a little bit more. oisd. This one looks like, okay, that one looks like it has an icon at least loaded, but it was blocked. So far, these have all been blocked. Threat intelligence, pretty much the same. I just want to go through all these on here, guys, so you can see. I'm trying to go faster and read fast without clicking the X button or anything like that on there. Yeah, these are pretty much all blocked, and this is doing phenomenal. I was not expecting this to be doing this well. Keep in mind, guys, most of these URLs are fairly new. Now there are some older ones in there, obviously, but most of them are really new, and you can see, guys, everything has been blocked. So that did a phenomenal job right there, I'd have to say. So overall, we'll kind of do a conclusion at the end, but right now it's looking very good for NextDNS, and it's security audit right there, at least with the malicious URLs and the phishing URLs. So I'm going to pause the video. We're going to load up another DNS service, flush the DNS, and make sure, actually my script does that right there. So we're going to just load up a new one and see how that one performs. I'll be right back. All right, welcome back everyone. So next we're going to be testing Cloudflare's 1.1.1.1. But instead of testing the last one, we're going to be actually testing the 1.1.1.2, as this offers the malware blocking. So basically Cloudflare, or 1.1.1, we'll just call it Cloudflare because it's easier. They offer basically 3 different blocking tiers, or 3 different kind of DNS services. So you got your main one, which is your standard DNS resolver. And then they have one that right here that does basically malware blocking. And then they have one over here that does malware and adult content blocking. Seeing we have only malicious and phishing URLs today, we're just going to go ahead and use the malware blocking for the test today. All right, I already downloaded the Windows version, which is right down here. That includes Warp. For those of you who don't know what Warp is, essentially it's just a split tunnel VPN that encrypts your DNS queries. If you get Warp Plus, which is their paid one, you basically are automatically going to then use the closest server to you, which is supposedly going to increase your speeds. But a lot of DNS providers already optimize you to use their closest servers. So yeah, that's basically what Warp is in a nutshell. It's nothing really too special. It doesn't really offer any sort of, it doesn't really change the malware protection. It just encrypts your DNS so that someone basically can't eavesdrop on your DNS queries, such as your ISP. Okay, so let's go to connection here and DNS protocol, and then that's set to Warp. We'll leave it at that. That's perfectly fine. And then for the address family, we're going to go ahead and change that to block malware. So now that should be changed. Let's go ahead and turn this on. Okay, DNS is connected, protocol Warp, and then we should be connected to the block malware one. Okay, check for updates, make sure the program's up to date. Current version is up to date. Okay, great. Advanced looks like 23 milliseconds. Okay, cool. Not going to go to account, but just going to show a license key. So we're connected. Let's go ahead and fire up our script here. And you can see that it did flush the DNS. So the results that we had from last time are gone now. So we'll go ahead and close that out. Might as well just close the whole browser out. And we're going to go ahead and hit yes and see how well Cloudflare's 1.1.1.2 works out for blocking malware. So we'll see, it looks like everything's loading up here. Now, okay, wow, okay, so it looks like a lot of things actually are getting through here. Interesting. Okay, let's go through and see. Looks like we got some network errors, not resolved, so looks like it mostly has blocked those, because these pretty much did work today. Yeah, I did test these out, so these are being blocked. So that's pretty cool to see. This one did not get blocked. So it looks like a lot of these did in fact get blocked, but it did miss quite a few. Okay. Yeah, and these are like some phishing ones here, I believe. Okay. So, and then you can see right here, if we go to the downloads list, these are all basically pieces of malware that it let through. Now, the reason it's all showing up, I do not have a smart screen enabled on this computer, so regardless, everything is going to show up and ask if I want to keep it or get rid of it. However, these have all been confirmed as malware, so I do know they're all malicious, and they are ready to basically be downloaded. If I hit keep, it's going to basically download it and then show it in the folder here. So it actually is downloaded on this system. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and tally these results, and then we're going to go ahead and move on to another DNS provider. So give me a minute and we'll reset and I'll be back. Welcome back, everyone. And right now we're going to be taking a look at Quad9. Now, Quad9 is another third-party DNS provider that really looks at the internet security aspect of DNS and really kind of hones in on that. So if we scroll down right here, they supposedly use 18 plus different threat intelligence providers. Now, I could not find all of them, but the fact that they're using 18 plus threat intelligence providers should yield a pretty good result here for us. And if we go down here, it tells you kind of a little bit more how it works. This is just more of a round of how DNS works in general, not necessarily a Quad9 thing, but nevertheless, it is a really nice graphic that kind of shows you how exactly it works. Now, I do want to kind of give everyone just a little bit a word of warning here. If you do use Yoga DNS, because if you go to the first start wizard, you can actually just use Quad9 right through there. Use DNS crypt, meaning all of your DNS queries will be encrypted. Same thing that Warp does, kind of. But if you do that, be aware that if we then go to DNS servers, you'll see here it's using 9.9.9.10. And if you go over here, and if you go to the right here, Quad9 DNS servers 9.9.9.9. So then, if you go over to the frequently asked questions, you'll find out that basically the one ending, or the 9.9.9.10 address does not actually have any of the security tied to it. So you have to use the 9.9.9.9 if you want any of the block lists, things like that. If you use the .10 one, then it won't do anything. It's not going to block anything. It's just going to resolve every single IP address, or every single query to an IP address, I should say. So just really, this is more of a knock towards Yoga DNS. That should really be changed in my mind. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in and edit this, and we are going to change that to use 9.9.9. As you can see, it's working, and I hit OK again. And I'll just go in and check, make sure everything worked. Yep, we are working good. Okay, so now we're using the Quad9 servers with the malware filtering enabled. So let's close everything out here. I got Yoga still running down there. We're going to launch our script that will basically automatically flush the DNS, so we're good to go there. I did clear the browsing history. I've done that for all the videos. So let's go ahead and proceed. And we'll see how many of these get blocked, if any, or if all. We will find out. 18 plus threat intelligence providers, I would assume we'd get a pretty good result. So far, we got a lot of blocks showing up there. That's a good thing to see. We do have a couple of downloads that popped up down here. All right, it looks like everything has loaded. So we're going to kind of go through here and see. It looks like everything, for the most part, has been blocked. We're going to go through the ones. So this one doesn't look like it was blocked again. I think NextDNS also missed this one. But everything else, as you can see, has little X's. So these have all been blocked up here. And we had 2 downloads, which I will consider those a miss because those were URLs that were resolved. They just didn't show up here. So looks like we have 3 misses on here. I will tally those results, and we will move on to the next DNS provider. Welcome back, everyone, and as you can see here, we are going to be taking a look now at Google Public DNS. Yes, the old 8.8.8.8 that everyone's known for years. So we're going to take a look and see how well it can protect your system, first line of defense, against malicious URLs as well as phishing protection. So as you can see here, we do have it enabled. I'll even go here and show you. We'll do a double check, and there we go. Google DNS is operational. We will go ahead. I did clear the browser cache. That's cleared out. And let's go ahead, load up Microsoft Edge. And we'll see how many of these URLs can get blocked. So it looks like they're all loading up. It looks like we got some downloads, judging by the icon down here. It looks like a lot of downloads. All right. So it looks like, all right, we'll go over here. So it looks like it did block some of them. That one it did not, that one it did not. Like I said, all these are not blocked down here. That one it didn't block. Yeah, so it's missing quite a few of these here. Okay, and then let's show all downloads here. And as you can see, yeah, it missed quite a few of them actually. So overall, it looks like Google DNS did not perform as well as I was predicting it would. So I will go ahead and tally these results up, and we'll be back. Welcome back, everyone, and we're going to now be taking a look at Comodo Secure DNS. Not going to go through too much. Obviously, it offers malware protection, considering Comodo is a very well-known anti-malware vendor. So obviously, you're going to get anti-malware protection with the DNS. If we go up to here, you can see that that is included with their free, no account required, anything like that, with the simple 8.26.56.26 address, as well as the 8.20 right down here. They also do now have a beta program. If you want, you can go up here and register, and this will allow you to then get more of the features like the parental controls, things like that. You can unlock all the new features that they're going to be kind of releasing fairly soon, and yeah, sign up for an account. You can try it out if you want, but for this test, we're going to go ahead and just use the standard basic protection. So we got, if I can click on the right thing, we got it put in right here, checked it, it's all good to go. We're ready. So let's go ahead and close that out. We've already cleared the browser history. Open this up, and we're going to run the test and see how well Comodo Secure DNS can do against malware. All right, so everything's loading up here. Looks like we have one download already. Something's downloading at least. Oh, quite a few downloads already. Okay. I see it looks like some things are loading. We do have, okay, that page loaded. All right, so yeah, it looks like quite a bit actually loaded up here. That loaded. All right, so let's start going through. Looks like a lot of the downloads actually got processed, judging by how the tabs really are more spread out here. So those got blocked. That's good to see. That did not. That did. All right, that did not get blocked. That didn't either. And quite a bit got through, unfortunately. If we go to show downloads here, as you can see, we do have quite a few downloads that did get through. That's very unfortunate to see. I really did expect a lot more out of Comodo, considering they always tout themselves, you know, as very good security, and quite frankly, they are very good. They have really good security products. Just not apparently their DNS. There are much better options out there, it looks like. So I'm going to go ahead. We're going to tally up the results. I'm going to add these. We're going to look at everything then, kind of go through it, and I'll kind of give you my verdict on how I feel about a lot of the things and what we saw today. So be right back, guys. All right, so here's the part that everybody's been waiting for, the results. NextDNS, Google, Cloudflare, Quad9, Comodo, who did the best? Well, it's probably not any surprise that NextDNS did do a fantastic job, blocking 49 out of 50 of the URLs. Keep in mind, guys, most of that was zero-day malware. Now, there was some older malware mixed in there, which is very disappointing to see the fact that Comodo DNS and Google only blocked 5 out of 50. Especially Comodo, that is really disappointing to see the fact that they only blocked 5 out of 50. They already have the signatures, they got the threat intelligence. They should be able to do just as good, if not better, than NextDNS, Quad9, or Cloudflare. So that's really kind of a disappointing result for that. Google's, well, I mean, Google is, they're known for the speed. They're great at speed, but I mean, they kind of have other services they concentrate. I don't think their DNS is really what they're concentrating all their efforts into. Plus, there's so many other ones out there. I feel like they don't really put a lot of effort into it. Then we have Quad9. We'll jump back up there. That was a really good result too. Basically tied with NextDNS. That's a pretty close result. So Quad9, if you really wanted to use that one, I would definitely recommend it. Now, I've seen things on DNSPerf that say the speeds for Quad9 doesn't rank them really the best. So they're slower speeds, but keep in mind they are a free service. You do not have to pay for it. So being a free service and blocking that much malicious content is a really good result. If you want more speed, you could definitely go to Cloudflare and sacrifice a little bit of security. Cloudflare is actually faster, according to DNSPerf, than NextDNS. So that would definitely be an option for you. And they do have their Warp, which is an encrypted DNS. Well, both actually, all three of these right here have it. Well, Google, 4 of them, I guess, have encrypted DNS. I think Comodo's working on it. So, but anyways, Cloudflare is definitely the faster option if you'd want to go that route. But for me, and I feel like for a lot of people who watch this test, will kind of conclude that NextDNS really is the number one for DNS on here, just for the fact that they have really good, obviously really good security, and the performance, according to DNSPerf, is really good as well. Now, granted, you do have to pay for it. They do have a free service, 300,000 queries. Sounds like a lot, but you're gonna, in today's IoT world or Internet of Things, you're really gonna reach that pretty quick if you have a lot of devices in your home. So you're gonna wanna pay the $20 a year. Yeah, $20 a year is not much in my mind for a DNS service, especially for a service that allows you to do custom, add different types of block lists and all the different different tweaking you can do with the service itself, and the amount of configuration under the hood. It definitely is a worth the $20 in my mind. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm hoping to get a lot more content out soon. As you saw, I got URLs that are now scripted so that I can basically run them super fast, and instead of the old copy and paste days. So that's hopefully going to speed up the test. I guess let me know what you think of the video in the description, or in the comments. I hope you don't put adjust the description right. Let me know in the comments what you thought about the video, what you thought about the DNS test. If I get enough of them, maybe I'll quick do another DNS test with some other servers if you want. Oh, I will mention I did not do OpenDNS. Now, that's probably what I'm going to get a comment. Why didn't you do OpenDNS? Well, OpenDNS doesn't actually they don't offer malware blocking anymore with their service. So you actually have to pay for their pro service, which it's owned by Cisco, so they have a whole bunch of different branches of it. But you basically have to pay if you want the malware blocking. Now it does provide phishing blocking, and they actually use PhishTank for phishing sources, as well as obviously other threat intelligence feeds. But essentially, that is why I didn't test it, is because they don't offer malware blocking. So guess what? It wouldn't have done anything. So that's it.